Alrighty, welcome back everybody to the 28th week of our Tech Bytes JavaScript session. We have officially made it to the 7-month mark. Crazy to think how fast these past 7 months have truly flown by. We start off not knowing anything, breaking our way up with block coding, doing a little, making that transition to typing out code, and now we are at a point where it's coming to the last 3 weeks of this course. Time really flies by. In case you're coming back from the web development course, welcome back to our fifth month anniversary, aka the 20th week of our web development course. Thank you guys for coming back. Love to see you guys coming back from last week and the week before. As always, this month of December is dedicated towards just reviewing everything we have done. So we're not going to be focusing on making some large scale projects, but more of making sure we have all the main concepts nailed down and we're pretty fluent in all those things. So this week will be nothing different than that. And as always, you guys already know who I am. My name is Ram Siddiqui. I'm a senior at James B. Conant High School, like my partner Labdi. Love to program, meet after that for a dozen different websites, run a sports talk show on YouTube called Buzzer to Buzzer, and got a realistic fiction book coming out in the next week about a high school student's journey into the world of technology. And you guys have seen Labdi as well.
Hey guys, my name's Labdi, and I'm slowly getting into this, teaching you guys programming through Tech Bytes. And I'm just like Rayan, I'm an enthusiastic programmer. We go to the same school, and looking forward to going with Tech Bytes.
Yep. Alrighty, so guys, remember, as a reminder, this whole month's agenda is pretty similar. We're going to get started off with the bell ringer, and then we're going to play some type of game, whether it's a quizzes, Kahoot, GimKit. Today we're going to be doing another quizzes, frankly, because it's pretty easy for us to go over the questions together and see where we are at as a class. So, per the usual, we're going to get started off with the bell ringer through Labdi's help, and then we'll make our way over to a quizzes focusing on today's topic, that being arrays.
All right. So as I said last time, bell ringers are, we have been doing bell ringers just as a review for what we've been doing for the past many weeks in JavaScript. And also one other reason for doing bell ringers is to kind of form that skill of trying to problem solve any sort of prompt when given. And this skill is useful in interviews, job interviews, even some sort of competitive programming like competition that happen like international, nationally. And also it's a really good way to form logic using the programming languages that we know. So for today's bell ringer number 2, the problem states, create a program which tells jokes based on the age of the user. For example, a cartoonish joke for toddlers, a high school joke for teenagers, and an office-related joke for adults. So onto it, I will go on to JS Fiddle.
Yep. And guys, the website link will be in the chat. As always, the website has not changed. It is still jsfiddle.com.
Yep. Where is it? Okay, perfect. And I will share my screen if I'm enabled.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Let's see. JS Fiddle, perfect. So, so our prompt was, let's see, create a program, again, which tells jokes based on the age of the user. I'm just going to copy in that prompt in the form of a paragraph in HTML. So again, to make a paragraph, you just do the carets and then add in text in between that, save and run. And there we go. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Rayan, for putting that in the chat. Okay, so how will we approach this problem? So let's see. It tells us to create a problem or create a program that tells jokes, but there is a condition on what type of jokes it tells. So what's the main thing that we will have to use in this program to decipher which type of joke we use, whether it's a cartoonish joke, a high school joke, or an office joke? So we're going to do that 1, 2, 3 chat again, and just put in, let's say, let's have three things: arrays, loops, and conditionals.
Yep.
All right, let's give 10 seconds. And on the, when I say chat, you guys will press enter. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, chat. All right, so just to kind of go over what arrays, loops, and conditionals are. Loops are ways we can iterate through the same code over and over again. Arrays are a list of variables, and conditionals are if and else statements. If anyone has any guesses on what we will mainly use in this program, you can put it in the chat.
Remember, guys, so Lavdi's asking us, how will we know which joke to tell? So if we're talking about a specific condition, what does that usually lead us to?
That's a very big hint right there.
Yes.
All right, so I will just move on. So in order to define our condition, we will use conditionals. And let's get started on how to apply those conditionals. So first, we will make a button on click. So it's gonna say click me. And again, to call a function when you click a button, you'll have to say on click is equal to name of the function and parentheses. And that name we will copy in this JavaScript file and say function clicked is equal to, or does something for us. So just to make sure that this works, I am going to alert, hi, save, run, click me. And here we go. Syntax error. It's not no click, on click. Click me. Can you guys see this error, alert?
Yeah, no. So you just want to console.log it?
Got it. Perfect. So instead of alerting, we're just going to console.log. And instead of getting an alert, we're going to get console.log hi. So this function works on click. So what are we going to do in this function? Well, okay, let's see. So we're going to have a variable called age, and we're going to have an input that defines what that age variable is. So the thing that we use is prompt, and we're going to say, what is your age? And let me stop share and try to share it again, because I don't believe you guys will see that prompt. You guys don't see that, right? No, okay. Give me 2 seconds. Let's see if we can make that work. Okay, looks like we cannot.
Maybe try doing the desktop option, if there was a desktop option.
I don't believe there is.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay, it's all right. Wait, okay, let's try again. Can you see now?
No.
No, okay, it's okay. Let's just, we can create in.
We can do how about we do a text field? We can just grab the.
Okay, perfect, yeah. Text field, yes.
Yeah, Lavdi, you got the key displayed.
That?
Like the finished version displayed.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that better?
That's right.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's see. I did not plan this out.
That is totally fine. Yep. So remember, guys, that we've talked about this on previous occasions too. When we're making a text field, so remember it's like that input tag, and then we assign an ID, and then the type of value which we're reading in is going to be a text. So it'd be type equals text and quotation marks.
Text and ID, let's say, is equal to age. Okay, why is this giving me an error?
And then remember, when we're doing a text, guys, there's no end, that's how we can do it.
Yeah.
The chat. Yeah.
So we just need one of those carrots.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad we got that done. So in age, we will put in the value of this in text field, and we get that by document.get element by ID. Brian, correct me if I'm wrong.
You're good. Remember, it's just get the ID and then dot value, I believe. Yeah.
Dot value?
Yeah.
Okay. And then in the parentheses, we put this ID that we named our input value text field. And this should give us a value of age, console.log. Sorry. Play console.
One thing, remember the age parentheses comes after the by ID. So like,
got it.
For all of our people in the chat, something like this.
So if I say 3, click me, perfect. Not gonna work.
Oh, remember the D is capital. Lowercase.
It's not, yeah.
Yeah.
This is called runtime debugging, guys. And we did get 3. Okay, perfect. So once we get that value, age, all we do is, say if that value. And okay, before we do that, this value that we have it's in a string value, but we want to parse that into an integer. So we will do parse int whatever we get from this input. And that's how we will be able to compare our age variable to a number. So in our conditional, we're going to ask if age is less than, what are toddlers from? Less than 6. We're going to say, how about, let's just say less than 11. Then we are going to console.log kid, else if, let's say age is greater than 11, and the way we do and is 2 of those and symbols, and age is less than 20, so this is the teenage years, we say console.log teen. And then finally, else if age is greater than 20, then we say console.log adult. And just to clear things up, I'm going to tidy this. And get rid of all of the errors. And let's see. Okay, perfect. Okay. Let's see. run, and that missing. Okay, oh, perfect. Okay, so we were missing a parentheses, and just to make sure this works, console.log teen, we don't need braces over here. And we need braces over here. And finally, we don't need braces over here. Nor do we need them here. And that should work. All right, let's see if it does work. Let's say we put in the number 4. Click me, and it says kid. Let's say we put the number 13. Click me, it says teen. And then let's just check the adult. Let's say there's an 89-year-old adult, and it says adult. So just to make this program work, all we need to do is basically, instead of console.logging kid, teen, and adult, we just paste in random jokes related to kids. So for example, for a kid, a joke like, what's a ghost's favorite dessert? Ice cream. For teens, let's say, what do you call a grumpy cow? Moody. And finally, for adults, something related to work, like Mondays, which most adults don't like. Sunday and Monday are in a fight. Who wins? Sunday, because Monday is a weekday. And so if we run it, we're just going to run it once. Let's say we have a 34-year-old. That's going to mean that it's an adult. And if we save and run, clear console, 34-year-old, click me, and it shows the correct joke based on what age the user inputs. And that's it, guys. So again, just to reiterate, our prompt was to create a program which tells jokes based on the age of the user. So the user puts in their age, 17, clicks, and then they do get a joke for them. For example, a teen type joke for teens. And that's how you solve this problem, guys.
Yeah. So very important concept, guys, which we went over today. Remember that idea of using if-else statements as to compare and make comparisons, and then we can make certain pieces of code work. So if a condition is met, then that code runs. If a different condition is met, then that code runs. And we will be seeing a little bit of it today, but today mainly our focus with our quizzes is arrays. So I will drop the link in the chat, and we'll get started in a couple moments if you guys log on. Alrighty, perfect. All right, so guys, let's get started. Same thing. It's almost about, I believe, 20 questions about, and then at the end, we'll go over it. Try your best. Let's try to get a 50% or higher accuracy. And then remember, the concept is dealing with arrays. And before we get started, how about we do a quick little refresher so that we know the concept. Remember, arrays. Let's say I have an array called fruit list. So fruit list, I can set that equal to. Remember, we use these brackets to hold an array. And then say in the array I have fruits. So like say I have an apple, I got a banana, I got a mango, and then let's say I have one last item, we can put a kiwi, right? So I got 4 items in my list. However, remember, when we're dealing with arrays, the apple is at the 0th index, the banana is at the 1st index, the mango is at the 2nd index, and the kiwi is at the 3rd index. So remember, this is how we make the array with those brackets. These are the indexes. So we have, although we have 4 things in our array, the array's name is fruits list, and then the indexes begin at the 0 and then make our way up. So say I wanted to print out the word banana, I could do something like I need to locate the fruits list at the first index, because remember, we want to get the word banana. So in order to get that, we have to locate the first index, and that's how we do it. So that's a quick reminder, quick refresher of we have used arrays multiple times in the past as well. So if anybody has any questions, we can answer those right now, and then we can get started. Alrighty, so looks like we are good to go. So how about we get started with our quizzes? Best of luck to everybody, and here we go. All right, let's keep it going. Nice, Trisha. right. Yeah, first place we have Anna. Congratulations. Great to see you back. And now, how about we take a look at the questions? All right, first question was an array is that is perfect. I got the key idea down. It is a list of data, absolutely. What is the first index value of an array? That is something we just talked about. Remember, the first item always starts at the 0th position, so 0 option. Number 3, what surrounds an array? Remember, it is the square brackets like we just went over. They're a bit different. You might not use them as much, but they look like this. These are the square brackets. Moving on, number 4. Array is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is the length of this array? So how many numbers are there? So remember, this is asking just how long is the array. Nothing more to it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements, meaning the length would be 5. Now, if I were asking you what is the maximum index which this array goes to, that would be the 4th index because the 1 is at the 0, 2 is at the 1, 3 at the 2, 4 at the 3, and 5 at the 4. Number 5, which definition below best describes an array? An array is a special variable which can hold more than a value at a time. Absolutely. Number 6, what is the proper syntax for declaring an array in JavaScript? 100%. Love it right here. This is a dictionary. We worked with something else. And this is getting into some other languages as well. Number 7, which of these variables below is an array? Remember, we can't just say a variable and set it equal to array. We have to physically declare it. So variable, and then the name of our variable. And then set it equal to the square brackets. Number 8, how would you change the first element of an array? So remember, the first element is always at the 0th index. So I'm looking for whichever one of these is changing the 0th index. And in this case, once we locate that 0th index, once we set the equal sign equal to something else, we are assigning a different value. This would be correct. However, we're not. This is the second element in the array. Remember, the first index represents the second element. So it's sort of like a math formula if you want to think about it. The index plus 1, it gets you which element we are on. Number 9, what is the highest position in this array? Remember, our array starts at the position 0. Absolutely, it is at the 4th position because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 10, what property tells you how many items are in an array? Remember, when we are talking about, like we done in the past with bell ringers and with loops, when we try to access the length of an array, we can always run .length. .num is not something we often run. .count is in a different language in Swift, how we can get the length of an array. That's what you guys do not need to know. But whenever we're talking about an array, we can just do .length, and that will tell us how long our array is. Number 11, the length method for an array will return the number of elements in the array, the length of the name of the array variable. Yeah, so this number 11 is essentially saying if we had the word, say we had an array of fruits again, right? And that was holding mango, banana, and kiwi. We'll keep it 3 for now. So this letter is saying, this option C is saying the length of the name of the array variable. So that's saying the length of the word fruits. Well, that isn't right. The length method is always responsible for telling us the number of elements in the array. So in this case, it would tell us there's 1, 2, and 3. So there would be 3 elements in the array. Moving on to number 12. The push method adds a new element to the end of an array. Yep, it implies what it does, pushing something towards the end of an array. So that is 100% true. Number 13, how would you access a second element in an array? Oh, it looks like I selected the wrong answer in this one. So yeah, that you guys were absolutely correct when you guys selected nums at 1. This is a typo I was making. So remember, when we're going to access the second element in this case is the word banana. So the word banana, although it's the second element, is located at the first index. So this is 100% correct. Sorry about that. Number 14, which of these lines of code shows how to validly store an array with 3 items? 100%. Number 1 shows how to write 3 items. The letter B is not correct. That's just adding multiple values. It seems like that is a bit incorrect syntax. Letter C, that's telling us how we can access the 4th element in an array. And the last option is not correct as well. Remember, we always need those square brackets and then whatever we want to hold inside of the array. Number 15, which of these for loops would iterate through each item of the num array, no more or no less. So remember, this is something which we'll be talking about next week more in depth with loops. But if we want to iterate over an array, we can just start at the 0th position and then work our way less than in order to make sure that we access that last position and not one more. And we can just run that loop the length of the array times. Number 16. Oh, I believe that was it, right? Yes, it was. All right, so does anybody have any questions? Any of the questions we went through? All right, and before we do sign off, just one quick thing, just to make sure we understand when we're talking about this question of how many items there are in an array. So say I had an array called that same thing, fruits. I set it equal to, add a fruit, I'll call it mango, add apple, and I'll add a banana. So if I do a console, console.log, and then if I want to figure out the length, aka how many items there are in this array, I can just do the name of the array dot length. Now if I run, oh, I believe it is just dot length. Whoops, there we go. So now if I hit run, hopefully, there we go. We are told that there are 3 items in the array. So remember, take the name of whatever our array is, dot length, that tells us how many items there are. But say I was supposed to do, how about I ask a question in the car right now? How would I access the word apple? Would I do fruits at the 0th index or fruits at the 1st index? So type your answers and then we'll do a 1, 2, 3 chat real quick. Absolutely correct. Yep. So we would access the 1st index. So if I hit run, we see the word apples printed out because remember, once again, arrays start at the 0th index. So mangoes at the 0, apples at the 1st index, and then banana is at the 2nd index. Something very important to remember. Alrighty, guys. So that concludes our Tech Bytes 7-month progress check for this week. It's crazy to think how far away we have come. As always, guys, we will be closing these last 2 weeks of December off with some more bell ringers, more fun games to make sure we have hit all the concepts down. This Friday, we will be having a teen trivia of the month, so be sure to stop by for that. If not, Lobby Now will catch you next week on our Hack Central or Web Development next Wednesday. Take care, guys. See ya.
Bye.